such a space maker. There's so many great things that he brings to the board. But I am kind of curious what we're going to see from both these teams. See if there's a little bit more adventure. I mean, I'd love to see a Yoru. I mean, Yoru on a map like Haven, not completely unheard of, but we'll have to wait and see now here, Max.
Yoru doesn't even exist. Even after his buffs, he's just not an agent in the game. But I maybe we could see the Yoru come out. I'd be very, very hard pressed to see. But you never know. Miracles can happen. But as of now, it looks like the agent composition for Zero Marksman has already been locked in, and we are seeing a bit of that old guard meta, the double duelist and the Omen in hand. They were hovering over the Astra for a bit. They decided to go for the Omen, so I'm wondering maybe they don't want to experiment too hard with potentially a new comp. They want to go with what's, tried and true for them. But that 2021 meta, Laz, it's hard to appear a little bit over on Lazarus' side.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, we're looking at it, and you see Astra as well. Glyph is actually looking like he might pick it. A little bit of hesitation, a lot of toying around. But I mean, I think at this point, like we have a lot of the same standard picks. You have your Sovas, you have your Phoenix. Pretty much makes sense. And one thing to note too is Unshaken. Like I know we've talked a lot about him here at VSS, but this guy pulls up big numbers. I'm talking. This is probably one of the players in the tournament to be watching. The statistics that he has is just unheard of. So I'm kind of curious if Lazarus knows this as well going into this map. But Unshaken, he's definitely pulling up some big, big frags on this map, especially.
Yeah, definitely could be a lot of potential here. Unshaken, definitely someone we want to keep an eye on here. But going into the pistol round now, we do see the bit of that old guard again starting off on the attack here. And this should be a benefit for them, depending on how they want to play things out. I'm expecting to be a bit of a rush, not too much of a slow defaulty round. So I think that could really benefit the Omen play.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, when you have your Omen on a map like Haven, I mean, again, you can use your dark cover and the full distance as much as you want. You can have like him lurking. You can pretty much have him ready to go for the execute. So everything's so close together, in difference of like Ascent or any other maps. He definitely brings a lot to this table. So I'm not really surprised. Like we've been talking a lot about their agent picks. I'm not surprised at all, but I am actually happy to see that Astra is in the server because I know there's been a lot of discrepancy about her so far, but she definitely brings that an entirely different element to teams. And I'm kind of curious to see what Glyph's going to bring to the table.
A lot of top level players in the last week alone have been tweeting about how Astra, her gravity well ability is just simply too strong for a game like Valorant, and how going into her menu is just like a mini game.
It is pretty annoying. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty tilting to play against. I mean, I always get a little irritated when I get pulled in that thing, so.
Oh, but look at speaking of pulling things in, though, we do see a bit of a double flank coming on by from the defense. It's going to be Soar pushing up the two duelists, doing so. Could trap the Cypher by themselves, but he is going to lurch his way around to the garage side. It's going to give a little bit more of a pre-descent going towards Zero Marksman. Town able to find the opening pick there. It's going to be such a strong opening for the team, though. It seems like the rest, though, are able to find some trades, but the Spike by itself opting to go for maybe the roundabout exit. Of course, on the other side, though, you have the Phoenix coming out from seemingly out of nowhere, it seems. Huynh is able to find Nasty, and last one alive is Potato, trapped seemingly by the entirety of the map. Not going to be too much action back and forth, Laz, but trapped again. Seems like round one's a done deal.
Yeah, Potato's going to have to really pop off and just find a lot of these one-on-one exchanges. You can already see a little bit of pushing from everybody, but right now, this is a really good way for him to win this. If he can pick up this frag in sewer, this could be huge, but Soar going to do the drive-by, close the deal. But look at those players. They were so low, Max. They were in the red. So really, that was completely doable for Potato, the way that Lazarus was attacking that player.
Absolutely, and I think the defensive prowess that we saw coming out from Laz was really nice as well. We saw Soar and Kolbs pushing through C long through the beginning of the round, and while they almost found Complex, they were able to dodge and weave their way out of the way at the beginning, but the inevitable still happened.
So now we see, I mean, this isn't a big purchase that's coming in from Zero Marksman, but I'm kind of curious what they want to go for. They have one Sheriff, so I'm kind of curious what they want to go for in this. Like, I don't know what they're looking for, but I mean, right now, if they can pick up the orbs, get a little bit, even get the spike down, this is going to be the biggest bonus for them. They're just all about damage, all about money building, and just grouping together. And you can even see Soars by himself. He's close, but actually NST wins that exchange. When able to get one, able to get the second, making a triple. No, but Zero Marksmen, they've already done a really good job here, Max.
Absolutely a fantastic job. 2 left alive now for Zero Marksman's side. 1 outside of BC Long, the other one stuck inside the cubby, healing themselves up. They're going to make their position a little bit known, but the last one, the one wielding the spike, now the last one alive is going to be relatively unknown. Kolb's able to identify the Omen before trying to escape, tries to make the roundabout exit towards the side of Hay Bales, but hey, it's going to be Glyph instead, and others waiting to strike. Glyph, of course, going to fall, but the immediate trade could come on by.
What?
Some shots already going down. Potato down to 20 health. It's going to be a tough ask again, and Potato for 2 rounds now last has found themselves in that same spot in a 1vx, the last one alive, in just about the same exact spot.
That's a really good round from Zero Marksman. I mean, I was talking about building the economy, picking up some frags, doing things like that. But I think that worked out pretty much picture perfect. I mean, it doesn't go their way, Max, but the thing that we have to look at is that they were able to take down 3 players from Lazarus. So now they have to force money into this situation. And you can already see on the far right there, it's not the greatest situation, but this is a good position for Zero Marksman because it just adds that funds for them to really transition into this 3rd round. So I'm kind of curious what the play is. I mean, there's so many options now for them.
Yeah, and typically for Lazarus or anyone on this bonus round, this is the round designed for them to lose and bring things to an even gun round for both sides. But we've also seen crazier things. This bonus round could extend into more than one round. We do see Enjoy ready to strike on either Garage or B main, but Soar's biding their time and waiting a tiny bit more. They have the judge, so they can't overextend too much, and even if they did, last it's a 1v3.
Drone's going to be out, getting a little bit of intel. Soar by himself. This is a tough position to be in. Actually does get spotted, so has to go for the duel, but that's such an easy pickup. Enjoy. Nice timing, finds it. Oh, good spam in from Potato as well. Mashing his players, and already this is a good start. This is what we were talking about. Zero Marksman. The firepower is already showing here, Max.
2 left alive now. I'm sorry, 3 left alive now for Lazarus' side, all completely fractured away from A site. It's going to allow full permission for Zero Marksman to come on in. 45 seconds left. They have full control. Now, one inside link it could be, but actually not linked just yet, but soon to be Glyph. One up on top of Heaven's going to be powerful as well. No ults to speak of as of yet. Some utility maybe from the Sova. 2 shock darts in their possession could be good. Otherwise, though, this is a bit of a slow affair. Town holding an angle down below. Going to go down pretty easily. 2 left alive. May have to opt for the save, and it looks like they may elect to do so or worry about the flank. 2 sheriffs in hand, though. Almost flawless for ZMM. They could try to push up here. The Shock Dart could be a discovery inside of Hell if they're able to make it land. 1 inside the corner, though, ready for the Paranoia, unshaken as well. There's a lot of options being held by Zero Marksman, but not enough for the defense. They're trying to push on up a little bit more, but it's going to be the anti-attackers going in and ruining the flawless round. Instead, though, they both fall relatively easily in ZMM Laz. They're able to find their first point.
Finds the first one. This is a good start for them. And they actually take it quite convincingly, too. I mean, I think they only lost 1 player on their squad. So, I mean, that's a really good transition for them, especially picking up that first gun round. And, I mean, now we can see money's going to be spent here for Lazarus. So we're going to be able to put the operator to work. So a little bit more pressure now. Not going to be playing those 1vx situations in Garage by themselves. But we have to see Sora now needs to be the first person that's going to find that contact. If they can win the first exchange, Max, this allows them to set themselves up better in these sites. So the options are limited here for Zero Marksman.
Holy crap.
Whoa,
I don't know if the actual stream heard that, but I thought it just got zapped away. Did nuclear war finally start?
I honestly thought we were in a thing of Terminator or something like that. Like the robots were coming. I was like, oh man, it's over. Skynet is here.
Thank God, it's finally over. Okay, but no, overall, this is the first rifle round that we have, Laz, and I think this is going to be really powerful to see. One thing to keep in mind, too, is that Glyph in town, well, they don't have exactly the fullest of buys. They're only on light armor.
Yeah, this is tight. Like, I mean, the money situations, you know, again, this is where it gets a little bit dicey in certain areas. But, I mean, having the light armor is definitely better than nothing. They're still able to have those Vandals as well on the Lazarus side. So that's a good thing. It's, you know, it starts to get really greasy if, you know, you're pulling in lighter rifles and, like, no armor at all or even just the light armor. But they need this round. Otherwise, they are going to be pushing themselves into a save. We do have attack pause, so it looks like we are just waiting a few things out. But this is a good moment. This is good for both teams. I mean, really, Lazarus, they can use this time to kind of reconfigure their plans, kind of figure out what they want to do, especially with them having their first official gun round. But this also allows Zero Marksman just to kind of fine-tooth those details of what they want to go for in their execute. And so far, the firepower's been looking really good on Zero Marksman.
Yeah, absolutely. Zero Marksmen, I feel like they've been able to win their gunfights a little bit more, but they've always found themselves isolated in these 1vx situations, especially Potato, but by the time he is in that position, everyone else is usually gone. The issue I'm wondering now is Soar. With the op in hand at round 4, Curveball already comes out and the immediate escape has to come on by. Dark Cover's gonna make sure that they can't really use much of it, and I'm wondering how valuable that pick was now.
It definitely would have made the difference, especially against Unshaken. Oh, does get it. That's perfect. Right on the top, high ground, finds it. That's exactly what they want. I talked about Unshaken being that big number, big statistic number. That's a big pickup from them already.
Okay, things are looking good for ZMM. 4v4 across the board here. One inside of Haystacks being blasted away, but it's the run it back that goes down instead. But Enjoy was ready to strike regardless. 2 left alive now, one of them being the op wielder again. Times like this, I wonder how viable that op pick was when you're not able to use it so close of range and you need to hold on to it. It's a viable choice, it's an expensive choice. But Complex being one of 2 of a 2v2 left alive now, holding the cyber cage down. You see Complex and company waiting out the cyber cages, having a camera in hand, waiting for Town to push on up, but it gives time for the spike to go into the ground. 40 seconds left though. We do see Complex and company holding these angles again. Last 2 on the defense, ready to strike as the cyber cage, no, is going to go down instead. Trapwire is able to find one, now a 1v1. Soar now picking up the Vandal instead of the op is able to bring things to a 1v1. So little health left, a single classic shot will take them down. Complex hiding a small corner, goes for the spray and finds it instead.
I really like that play in that attempt from Soar. I mean, it didn't work out for their favor, but the double smoke waits it out. You could hear the spam, so he wanted to make sure he knew exactly what that player was, but his HP was just so low. There's just the chances of him winning that exchange is just extremely low. The probability is not there. But a big round that comes through, coming him back. I mean, Zero Marksmen have now tied things up. Like we said, we're going to see a light purchase. The Shiko, if we want to call it that, is going to be in full flourish now for Lazarus. I'd like to see something a little bit different here, Max. I mean, what we've seen so far is a lot of the default setups, but they might want to try to bring this gunfight to them and really challenge these guys.
I would love to see a more aggressive gunfight, Laz. I think that'd be really cool to see. We saw some on the pistol round, but otherwise, you're completely right. It's just been mostly hiding in corners for these defenders.
Oh, Complex making it close. He gets a lot of damage done against Town. Gonna be coming downtown here. Getting a lot of control. Doesn't go for the orb, but this is a lot of good info as well, Max. I mean, now Zero Marksmen, the one thing that we're noticing a lot from them this game is they're getting a lot of real estate. So they're able to just put a lot of pressure back, which makes it more options for them and less options for Lazarus. Right now, they're relying on their jet to have the Bladestorm and be the kind of that difference maker.
But look at Glyph down inside of sewers. That could be devastating for Enjoy if they don't push the corners just in time. Single headshot to the noggin could be for Glyph's safety, but no, instead the recon bolt comes by, forcing their position out, and suddenly Zero Marksmen clean up the whole feed. Bodies falling left and right, it seems, as everybody else is trying to make their way to A on Lazarus' side. There is going to be an attempt of a shock dart, I believe, going down on default. Is it going to connect? The answer seems to be no. Quinn, though, or Hyun trying to find a position with just the Sheriff in hand. It's not a round designed for them to win. Again, it's an eco round, or like you said, Laz, a Shiko round, but with 2 left alive, they have to put in some economic damage against Zero Marksmen, who have been able to win, as of now, maybe 3 in a row.
Not really much to expect in this. I mean, Quinn right now just looking for every single option. Any kind of fragging out at this point, completely pinched in this tower. So this is a little bit of, you know, just fragging out desperation mode a little bit here, but all 5 players from Zero Marksmen should be able to escape with no sort of issue. And now looks like he should be able to escape. Looks like he will just stay towards the site, commit to it, but nonetheless, that's going to be another round from Zero Marksmen. A really well done execute, and that's what we were talking about, getting that long A control, holding the sites, really keeping Lazarus on the guessing game, and they just seem to find the timing just a bit ahead of Lazarus so far, Max.
Absolutely, and again, like you mentioned yourself in the last round, it's been a lot of these very aggressive plays that Zero Marksmen has been able to use to make sure they're on top of Lazarus.
But now, I mean, we got the op out once more. Soar was able to do something before, but we'll have to see if he can do it again. And I mean, this is, you know, we talk about the importance of having an operator is because it's such a big investment. I mean, you're spending 5,000 credits just to use it. So we have to make sure that Sork, you know, can be kind of that playmaker, has to find these openings as much as possible. Glyph able to get out. That's a really close call, but Unshaken now. Maybe the beast is going to be out of the cage because he's coming in full force, coming into the site. Soar, but he's not going to be able to win it. Look at that Unshaken. He's looking for blood.
Really good opening pick there, but look at that. The defense is able to bring it back. Unshaken and enjoying fall. The duelists are gone. 2 left alive now for the side of Zero Marksman's side. It's going to be rough. Potato finding themselves in a 1v2. I'm sorry, what am I saying? A 2v4 now. Pushing up here. May potentially have some luck, but the gravity well is going to go underway on garage doors. Hayun has the curveball, goes for it instead, tries to find the headshot, able to succeed, maybe trying to bring it back a little bit more, but Kolb's and company, they're taking advantage of this fact. They have the intel and need to rotate over to the CT side. Spike may very well go into the ground now. Kolb's and company trying to use that recon bolt, but they might be saving a tiny bit more to have some more information. But Potato, little do they know, already pushed up quite a bit, waiting for the dark cover to dissipate, taking advantage of the Hunter's Fury as well. Able to find one, but still 2 more inside garage unaccounted for. With that being said, they're able to make their way onto the site, isolating the Sova out from the Omen. Almost trying to find one, but Nasty finds the shot instead. Down to a 1v1, trying to bring it back, but the defenders bring it back to an even 3v3.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Zero Marksmen. The 2-on-4, I believe? And they were able to make that right down to a 1-on-1 situation. A big play from Potato. The fact that they were able to get the spike down, Potato going right for the Sova right away, trying to get rid of that Hunter's Fury. A lot of good plays, but it just doesn't go their way. But we have ourselves back to a tie game. But this is kind of what we were talking about from Zero Marksmen. This is a squad that's been together for quite some time, and we're definitely seeing why. There's a lot of trust, a lot of good firepower, a lot of good control so far of this game. And Lazarus, they make it through, but I mean, it's definitely not pretty, but it will definitely do at this moment in the stage of the game.
Definitely by the skin of their teeth, it seems.
Oh, all the skin of the teeth.
I don't even know what that means. Teeth doesn't have skin.
That's
but the
true.
curveball comes by again, though, Laz. Look at this, though. They might be able to find the orb control, but instead the Hunter's Fury, being a bit of an alpha of their own, is only able to find a little bit of health against the Complex, but Complex able to keep their life a tiny bit more. Same could be said about the entirety of the map so far for ZMM. Enjoy though.
It's a good spot. They get the intel. They get the intel of the jet from Zero Marksman, but Hayun doesn't actually want to go for this. And this is a good play because if you lose that player on defense, again, it creates that hole in your defense, which makes it so much harder for you to kind of be able to hold things down. But again, Zero Marksman, they're going right back for the bread and butter. They're going to go for the execute today. Town, the only player that's close by that can really make a difference. He's going to have to find these players. He's blind, but no Potato. Again, finds these openings once more here, Max.
Absolutely, and with that spike going down now, it's only a 4v5. Lazarus needs to find a way to bring it back and do it aggressively. They have the disadvantage already, but they have to make it work. Glyph on top of Heaven now, still 2 stars in their possession, could use some sort of work here, but with more recon bolts and shock darts going on by into the A side, it's going to be Complex and company holding these devout angles, waiting to strike. There's not a lot this Astra can do here. Hayun towards the back, trying to go for the flank, is able to find one, close to another, able to clean up the site. Angles are being held though, trying to dash on in. Gravity well in conjunction with all the utility gunfire going on by. It's a whole bunch of trades coming through. Still a 2v1. Last one alive, this defending. Hayun towards the back on the flank. Too little too late to go for the defuse. Just able to keep their life, looking for exits, but little does he know they're all going to be going through A main.
Wow. Just one word of that round. Wow. I mean, again, like we're seeing a lot of these situations where the numbers are completely against a certain team, and then that team, they just make, you know, these plays where they can bring it back to almost an equalized situation. NST was able to hold underneath a tower, was able to take down 2. But if you looked at earlier, we saw the gravity well came in on top of the smokes as well. So they threw the double or the triple cloud burst, have the gravity well, and the jet was able to dash on through and gets that frag. So it's just those little things that makes the biggest difference to getting in those sites for those retakes.
I completely agree with that, Laz. And now I'm curious to see if that's going to keep on going or if we're going to see some more adaptations coming by from Lazarus' side. The big thing I think we keep talking about is how they're slow to the approach in the post plan.
It's definitely been a bit interesting from their side. I mean, they seem that they have the right ideas for these retakes. They just seem, their timing just seems a little bit off. But you know what? Is one of the first, you know, we're on top 32 now.
Of course.
But maybe they're just kind of getting things a little bit more warmed up, especially in this map. The Zero Marksman, for how much we were talking about them having only a 29% win rate, it's already looking pretty good for them here, Max.
Definitely a lot of training that's gone on by. And speaking of what's even further, they're able to find the first double kill across the board as well. 2-3 left alive now for Lazarus.
That's done.
Well, they're still able to put in some work, though. A lot of positioning being held throughout the site, but it's going to allow Zero Marksmen to push on A pretty much very decisively. Bodies keep on falling for Lazarus, though. One duelist and an initiator left alive. They're going to be completely fractured again. Kolb's trying to go in for a bit of a minor flank themselves against the Phoenix, but unable to succeed. It's going to allow a lot more fractured players to come on by with complexity now. Hayun, he's the last one alive now with Kolb's. And Kolb's now facing a 1v4, 2 ults against them. Full health at the very least, which is nice, but only one piece of utility, and that being a recon bullet. And it's not going to really work out either.
Doesn't work. Like a pancake. It's flat. And now,
Oof.
Zero Marksmen. 2 up. It was a 3-3 now. 2 in a row for them. Gun round comes back in here from Lazarus. Operator going to be in the hands of Soar once again. We've seen Soar play in C site on top of the generators in B. So now I'm a little bit curious if they want to try something a little bit more different, but it looks like the placement of Soar is still at B. So looking for that mid connection. And again, when you're on the defense, you want to be able to have that operator making those plays. They have to be able to get that first exchange. It definitely makes the biggest difference in just reducing the attacking and the offensive side here.
And this is the first time, too, we've seen Enjoy on the op. Up until now, they've always been very aggressive on the rifle, but it seems like no matter what you put in the hands of Enjoy, it's able to work out pretty decisively. It's going to promote the knife play as well, coming out from Enjoy yet again. But look at this, the slow rotates coming on by again for Lazarus' side. Look how fractured away everybody is.
Oh, no, no,
No one's
no.
able to really find these counter flanks. And I'm wondering what Soar's trying to do here. He's waiting for garage control, but unable to do so. Spike's already gone to the ground, so that's a big problem in of itself. But
Drones out.
the rest of the defense, they're trying to play off each other, but no one wants to take the entry.
The biggest thing here for Zero Marksmen is they have these situations and their positioning is for the trade frags. So right now you can see Soar's just holding a very tight angle with that
pushing
operator.
up.
Oh man, this is dangerous.
Enjoy.
Enjoy's got the blades out. Oh no!
Shotgun
Welcome
number
to the
2.
show. That's gonna be a triple. Look at a flawless round again here, Max, from Zero Marksmen.
Fantastic to see coming out from ZMM again. They've been able to take pretty much a 6-point straight lead, -1 defuse in the middle of it all. Lazarus, there's yet to be a response. The closest thing we saw was the op in hand of Soar, but we've seen that so many times now, and realistically, it's only worked for 1 round. That was round number 4.
Yeah, this is starting to get a little overwhelming here for Lazarus. I mean, defensive side can be very tricky, but again, I think the one thing we're noticing a lot is that they need to get that first exchange. I mean, typically that's what the attacking side's all for, but on this, if you can be, initiating that first fight on defense, really reduce the amount of options that the attackers have, it can make a difference. Look at that. That's perfect. Curveball through the smoke, able to get him, takes him down. He gets the orb, but that's all he's going to get.
That's very true. It could be very... Was it worth it? Maybe not. Zero Marksmen now a 4v5. They do have a very strong lead as of now. They do have ults to work with, but the Astra Stars, especially with those being on the game still, I'm a little worried.
Oh,
Push up from
nice.
Soar.
Oh, this is scary.
Yeah, look at that
Soar's
too.
scaring me.
Oh, Enjoy couldn't find the shot, not hearing the audio cues either. Soar waiting in a very small corner, could potentially find 2 different bodies, but they're peek out too little too late, but they find the other one. They find both. Beautiful work coming out from Soar, getting the spike in their possession. May have just turned the round around. Okay, now 2 left alive, 1 stranded away, bottom of A long, the other one trying to find the op shots on the Soar, unable to connect. Complex hiding away inside of Astra's own utility. Maybe able to try to find an escape route, able to find one instead. They lever it a little bit more. But still, have to worry about Enjoy. Up close and personal, Town goes down. Banded together yet again. It's down to a 2v2. Zero Marksmen able to tie this back up quite effectively now, but they have to choose a new site to go to. 16 seconds left. There may not be enough time to go to C, but they're definitely going to try. Wondering though, Hayun trying to go in for the flank, unable to do so. It's a battle against time. It's 4 seconds it takes the plant, and they're able to get by with just barely enough time. Is that even enough? And the answer seems to be yes, but not by much. Now Hayun with the run it back, trying to find one to the immediate left, but also in front as well. So many different angles to worry about, but no, the quick shot doesn't work. Sheriff in hand though, this Cowboy's able to find the op wielder instead. 1 left alive now, it's Complex. Hiding a very devout angle, worried about both to the right. Astra, the Phoenix, last 2 alive, right around the corner. I'm not sure if there's any curveball utility to worry about, but it might not matter. When one goes down, the other one picks it up.
Oh my goodness. Lazarus. Just when we were starting to think that Zero Marksmen had the number, They pull it through, and I mean, big play comes in from Soar. I mean, able to have the Blade Storm out, picking up the double in the A sewer, just holding it. And you saw the patient play, the trigger discipline. In most situations, most players, they want to spam. They want to make sure, you know, they see that first body, they want to go for it. But in that situation, it's making that slight decision making that makes the biggest difference. He's able to pick up a double instead of just going for the one-on-one trade. So that allowed him to get full control of A main, pick up some extra weapons as well. A fantastic round, a thrifty round from Lazarus, and now they're only 2 away from tying things up in the first half, so it's getting really close to the end here. And Zero Marksmen, I mean, we're going to have to see, do they want to just go back to the C site execute, or do they want to go back for the bread and butter of A? It seems to be their best thing here, Max.
Definitely seems like a default coming in play for ZMM's side. They went through a lot of rotates last time, Laz, but it was not really as effective. Usually just pushing onto a site for them, getting rid of all the Cypher utility that Lazarus may have seems to be their way to go.
I mean, it really does. I mean, now even again, they're kind of, you know, a lot of more hesitation that we're seeing from them. Before, we typically saw that they just full commit, you know, they put a lot of, you know, foot on the gas, tires are on the road. But right now, a little bit of stalling, kind of figuring it out. But nonetheless, they're just creeping through the map, not really trying to be too aggressive. But this positioning from Sora is a good one because he can get this first frag, then dash out of this. Doesn't even get caught with the curveball. Doesn't even go for the bait at all. So they don't even know he's there at all. Well,
look at the bit of a rotate coming on by from Zero Marksman. Hyun attempting to find some shots, unable to find it though, but they definitely see the responsive shots coming out instead. Unshaken though is going to attempt to go on forwards. He doesn't have any curveballs left, but he does have a firewall he could potentially use. With that being said though, Molly comes down instead, making sure he can't enter whatsoever, but Complex are attempting to do so practically by themselves, having a few more on the way as well. Hyen doesn't care, he's able to find it instead. Though Trade City galore coming on by, the entire Zero Marksman feed's able to find so many different bodies on Lazarus. Though it's not going to be too little too late just yet. The Molly burning away on Glyph, having to force the relocation just a tiny bit more. It's going to lay Soar by themselves again with an op in hand, trying to find some shots behind Green Box. It's going to miss, though. Promoting the teleport comes into play. Unshaken, though, avoiding the gravity well. There is some utility they could work with here, but already with a 1v4, Glyph find themselves in the same spot that many others have faced before in this game.
yeah, tough position for her to be in. I mean, with an agent like Astra, it's not as easy just to go for those clutch situations. It takes time to set up smokes. It takes time to set up for the gravity wells, and pretty much leaves you completely vulnerable. So instead, not even going to burn the ultimate as well. Stay alive as much as possible. Able to get a nice shot on Unshaken. So now they're just full hunting. They're going to make it work. They lose some bodies, but it doesn't matter for them. They have the money. They can dispense of it. They have plenty to go. And that's a good pickup for them because if they allow Glyph to have that weapon into that next round, it definitely could have made a bit of a difference. And even now we can see they're kind of forcing as much as they can here, Max.
All right, Laz, you got to call it. Are we going to see 7-5 or are we going to see 8-4?
You know, it's hard to say. I mean, there's no, you know,
right?
they have three ultimates. So the one thing we have to note is there is Hunter's Fury. They have the Cosmic Divide. So those are two, you know, playmaker things that they can make work out. But I mean, they have 2 rifles. They have 2 rifles that they got to work with. So someone's gonna have to pop off. I mean, my hat would think 8-4 max.
Okay.
But anything's possible, you know?
Absolutely. I'm inclined to agree it's going to be an 8-4 as well. We are going to see the Cosmic Divide come on down. It's going to be blocking a very odd point of the site. Usually we see it for post plants, but in this case, no. It's actually used to physically deny, I guess, a rotate coming by for the attack.
And the nice thing about the Cosmic Divide is that the sound cue. So you can't
Very
do anything.
true.
So again, so it just lets them get that map control as much as possible. But look at this, they're already pushing in the gravity wall. That's huge. McColl's for 1, Stroll for 2, not for 3. Complex able to reply back. A lot of tree flag for Laura. This is huge. Glyph with 3. And that's a big round. Make us eat our own words. Max 7-5 is going to be the score.
I mean, I think the re-rotation around going back to Seaside was a bit of a mistake from Zero Marksman's side. Again, it was really odd to see that deep of a national divide because usually we do see those in post plants to either mask the plant going down or mask the diffuse. In that case, we didn't see either of that, and they just got baited straight into where, you know, they got baited straight into a trap on C long. They got funneled in.
And that's kind of the worrying part about Astra is, like, you know the star is there, but you have no idea what it's going to be. You don't know if it's going to be a smoke. You don't know if it's going to be a gravity well. It's kind of a mystery. So really, you're just going for all odds against you here. So I mean, it was a perfect time, place gravity well, like you said. It really just kept them in a bit of a funnel and just made it easy pickings for them.
Zero Marksmen, though, their first time on the defense. We're seeing a lot more of aggressive play than we have from other teams in the past, though. The entire team congregating outside of lobby. Might be able to find one, but look at this, though. It's actually a bit of a reverse. We've seen this a few times in high-level play, but with the camera waiting to poke out, it seems like that Cypher may have done their homework. Camera may go down, though. The entirety of the defensive team hiding in from the back, though. Town's ready to strike. Might be able to find one. He's only good for one kill, though. He has to back away immediately. Though it's going to be the rest of the team trying to come up and clasp him down onto Town immediately as well. 3v5. Lazarus have work to make up. What's left of these attackers falling down almost immediately. The defense, the flank is working out pretty well, it seems. Lazarus, though, only has one left alive. It's down to the Phoenix. Hayun coming in from the back. Might be able to find the counterflake to come on by, but the Returnal coming through. It doesn't matter when they're almost away from tying it up.
What a play. You could even see how the knife out ready to go. Both those players had no idea. And that was kind of the idea because what they did is Soar went for the wide swing out of garage. So pretty much tried to make it look like I'm the only player in garage and his teammate essentially is kind of, it's an intentional bait, we'll call it, but it was the play because they wanted to make sure that they eliminated that option and it worked out picture perfect. And now Lazarus, one round away from tying things back up. Now they are the ones that are going to be able to pull through this pistol. So they have the SMGs in their favor here, Max.
Statistically speaking, this should be Lazarus this round. We might be able to see 7-7 here for this best of one.
Hey, I wouldn't mind it, you know, Max?
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't mind it either. But Soar poking up, playing a dangerous game right now, avoiding the Sheriff on the other side. Cowboy Bebop's able to find one before going down. And the whole feed is just a gigantic Christmas tree. A 3v3 now with all those still left alive. It looks like it's starting to unravel from ZMM's end. Lazarus, though, 3 left alive still, being able to really mow down all these different blades of grass. It's going to be down to a single Cypher. Complex last left alive here. Excuse me. I'm all congested today. But with Complex again, trying to almost swerve himself out of a flank, tries to find the audio cues onto what would be A side for the plan, but he doesn't hear it, so it has to be A. As he approaches throw on B main, he has to worry about one side gong. Sees the white of their eyes. Town's able to find Complex instead, and of course the buy-up round, able to find it.
I like this play from Lazarus as well. I mean, the fact that they had the lurk coming in from their Cypher, which would have been Town. He was just playing in B, just trying to be that cutoff point in case the player wants to come through the site. So that's, they had a 3v1. So at their point, they're just trying to get intel so they have all the information. It works out for them. Zero Marksmen now going to be for the first test in the second half with their gun round. Light armor, like you said, money is a little bit tight. So it's not the greatest situation for them to be in. But I'm curious if the attacking side was more their strongest point, or if maybe that's their weakest point, and we're going to be seeing some magic here, Max.
A 7-7 now, though. Default play in hand doesn't seem to be working, though. I'm wondering about Nasty.
Uh-oh.
Oh, this is tough.
Uh-oh.
Whoever makes the next move in any direction is going to die. Town.
It's a horror movie.
Oh, no. One of them's a slasher film, but no! They have to bring the hammer down! It's a trade city coming on by. Very, very bad to see, though. It's going to be now a disadvantage for Lazarus' side. They're on the bonus again, but the rifles could be picked up.
Okay. So now the rifle's retrieved. Spike's going to advance itself towards sewer. So it's going to be a 2-1 split. So they have their Astra going to be stuck inside a sewer, able to kind of line up any of the utility they need. But it's all about the timing of this, because you don't want to do it too early, because then it makes it so obvious that they're going to go for this execute. They only use 1 star, still have 2 more that are going to pull through. So can you use these options now? You can already see the placement's going to come through. That's going to most likely be the smoke, getting the placements down, looking on both top and the connector. So this allows them to get in the site here, Max.
And look how slow Zero Marksmen are going to be on this retake here. Bodies are falling left and right on the defense. Lazarus able to find yet another one, evening things out more. But where is Zero Marksmen? They're all funneling themselves outside of A main. The firewall does go up, and again, so many flashes and so much utility being dumped. It's not working out for the attack. They're all falling left and right, but Colb's able to secure it a little bit more into a quad kill for the round.
Goodness me. The bonus round works out very well. I mean, that's huge. And now they're going to be able to look at this money. Kolb says 7,300 at one point. I mean, he's got a 68 now, but he did have 73, so you can't make the math joke. But I mean, man, money is looking good right now for Lazarus. But again, this is a back and forth game. We can see they have 1 rifle available. So I mean, it is It is the Marshall. We've seen some nasty things with the Marshall, but that's a big ask right now.
Standing ahead.
We've seen some craziness with the Marshall in the past. Are we going to see here? Most likely not, but it could be a possibility. I mean, the moon is blue sometimes, right?
That's true. That's true. Like I said, anything is possible, Max.
Oh.
VSS, dreams becoming reality. You know?
VSS being every day of the week could be a possibility too, right?
Ooh.
Ooh, yo! Oh no, Sora taking so much damage right off the rip, trying to find one before they trade somebody out. Beautiful work there. Jet for a jet, a soul for a soul, and these attackers are able to finally clasp upon Zero Marksmen.
This is good control now. So they've completely put themselves into it like a bit of a 3-2 split, Lazarus. Zero Marksmen. They push down C, they get a little bit of info, but now going to push themselves back. So they're really just kind of leaning more in that B and A setup, but having just one player each. So it's kind of just that 1vx exchange. And that's a tough position. I mean, in this point, they might want to try to group up and just risk it for the biscuit. But it looks like they are just going to commit to themselves with one-person armies at each site. But now it looks like Lazarus, once again, they're getting ready for an execute, and they're going back towards C.
Oh,
Shaken. He is
down.
coming big.
Rev up those engines, the lawnmowers here, but it's gonna completely miss everybody. Unshaken falls, Glyph is able to find one. One more though inside of CT side, that's gonna be the Cypher in play. Have to see what Complex can do, but misses the Marshall shots, and I guess it's only gonna be VCS for 1 day a week. With that being said though, 3 ults on the board for Lazarus side, and Zero Marksmen, well, we haven't seen a round from them be successful since round 11.
Yeah, it's really just taking them some time. I mean, they had such a good transition with that we saw in the first half. I mean, they pretty much had 6 rounds in a row. I think there was one like in between. But I mean, now it's kind of a little bit of a flip of the script, and we're noticing that Lazarus are really just switching that gear and having a really strong attacking side, and not really a lot of reply. But this is the tail of the tape. This is going to be a big momentum shift potentially for both teams. Zero Marksman can pull this back. There's a good possibility of bringing this to a tie game, but Lazarus pick up this round. This puts them at the double digits and that much closer to the match point, and that makes the money situation even worse for Zero Marksman.
Oh, but you know what they say, curiosity killed my cat, and the Astral Divide goes up all over Seaside, nullifying so many different sounds, even inside Garage, but Sora doesn't care. He's able to find one. Complex is going to fall, and all that Sentinel utility that didn't quite work out for, well, the defense is going to go down anyways. Enjoy, though, blocked off by not only the Astral Divide, but also blocked off by a Gravity Well as well, trying to drag them into the Abyss. Isn't going to work out. It's up to Sora right now to see what they can find, but there is going to be a run it back in the ways, but it's blocking out both them and the attacker themselves. Unshaken, though, going to keep on pursuing on forwards. The curveball not going to quite work the way they had hoped, but now focusing entirely on CT side, they're trying to find so many different kills. Bodies are falling left and right. The recon ball could give away the last 2 of the defenders, but around the corners, double on green, they're able to find 2 instead and bring things back home. There is still a Hunter's Fury to worry about, though. Time is running out. Able to find one, gets tagged up. Are they able to make it work? They have to focus on the site themselves, but they're being challenged and ran down. Lazarus able to make it work, even despite all the utility dump.
A big play. That Hunter's Fury worked out very, very well for them. They were able to just make the lineup perfectly. I was a little bit worried with how far back Kolb's was. I mean, you could see he was pushing himself all the way outside of the corridor of long A, or long C, sorry. So it definitely made it interesting, but the time was just ticking too fast, but he burned everything perfectly. He had the recon bolt, had the Hunter's Fury lined up as well, and now Zero Marksman. They're down. Money's not good. You know, we're trying to figure out, we're scraping the barrel. They're looking for what they can value, you know?
Looking under the couch.
Yeah, looking for pennies, looking for nickels. Wait, you guys have nickels in America?
Yeah.
They're looking for coins? I don't know. It
Yeah,
doesn't
Thomas
matter.
Jefferson.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I mean, pennies aren't a thing, but you know what? Doesn't matter. Nickels being collected, but right now, Zero Marksman, they're going to try to see what they can make work of the inventory they have. And even now, Lazarus, switching up this plan, and this is the one thing we've noticed a lot, is they are getting a lot of good control, but they're putting a lot of that control in middle, so they kind of split the map, Max.
It's a really good thing to point out too, because we're seeing some, what was at first for the first few seconds of default play, they kind of congregate together and now pushing all together almost towards A long. It's hard to say exactly what they want to do, but they are going to branch out a little bit more. The Hunter's Fury does come into possession, takes down one duelist. That's really high on. However, Unshaken still holding an angle down below, unable to find anything because the Sova is going to back off. What does that mean now? The option's in the hands of Lazarus. Do they want to commit here? I think they're going to rotate out the C.
They have so much time, and that's the thing. Like, they have a lot of control of long A. They had that A main, but now their Silva's going to push on back. The Astra, you could see she was getting prepared. She had like the, I can't remember what it's called, but when you're lining up your stars and everything like that.
When the
getting
stars
ready.
align.
When the stars align. Oh, I like that. But, I mean, now we're going to have to see, do they want to fall back? Do they want to try something a little bit different? But time is completely ticking for the Max. 20 seconds remaining in town. He's just going to run through a Molotov. What on earth?
Holy moly, so much going on at once. A 2v3 coming on by from town with a classic in hand. Finds one from jumping. There's still more action to be had, though. That bomb needs to go into the ground, but they're unable to do so. One left alive. It's down the Cobes coming for the reversal. Needs to pick up some of the slack. By far too late to win the round in terms of the plant, but maybe able to find the last pick. Not able to do that either.
Holy moly guacamole.
I'd go for
Lazarus. That would be pretty delicious, I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
But the one thing we noticed, I mean, we were talking about they had so much time. Lazarus, they look like, yeah, you know what? We'll have one person lurk at A. We'll fall back. We'll get some more control of the map. And then, I don't know, something happened. I mean, Kolbs was the one player I noticed that was going through middle. He just did a little bit, you know, sightseeing. He's like, nah, you know what? Grass is greener at A. Let's go there. Turned out that's not the case. Zero Marksmen, they take full advantage of it, burn the clock, and use it to their advantage and enjoy. Instead of going for that duel, he actually just waits it out, and he just runs away, and they pick up the round. That's completely perfect. And now, Lazarus, I mean, they have money, but that definitely hits them hard.
Yeah, and I mean, that money's going to be an issue really soon. If Zero Marksman can't win this next round, they might be in some economic trouble. Oh, but look at the push coming on by here. There is going to be a bit of a Cypher trap wire in the way. It's not going to detect everybody, though. Look at this, though. Summon side of C-Long. Complex waiting around the other side of the Cyber cages. Not able to find any of these pre-fire actions, though. One inside of C-Long. Make that two. Curveball comes by. Might be able to blind out the majority of the team. Unable to do so, though. We do see one behind green box. It's still going to be, I believe, Hyun. Not able to find too much success. The Fireball's going to go up instead. Promoting Sword to find another opening pick to make things a little bit more better in the odds of ZMM's side. But Potato and company, they're trying to hold down the fort as much as they can. Kolb is forced to back out a little bit more. He's able to find one, makes it a 2v2. That spike is well and away onto the site in the possession of Zero Marksman. One inside cubby, though. It's going to be Kolb's. Has to be a miraculous play to make this work. It's gonna be Soar, able to find one right around the corner behind Green's gonna be the last one. That's all they need to do. Get the cloudburst down in time. They might be able to find the shots. Potato able to clutch it up for one, makes it two, and Zero Marksman making one away from tying it up yet again.
Potato pulling up big numbers once again. The one player we were talking about first half comes alive and plays that so well. He uses the obstacle and the cover to his full advantage, and he made it those one-on-one exchanges. He was able to take down, I believe that was Soar out of Garage, and then just able to get the nice lineup onto the second player. A little bit of a mistake from Lazarus, sorry. A little bit too slow, and that's something we noticed a little bit in this game so far, is both teams kind of seem to have these one-on-one duels instead of going for those trades. But either way, Zero Marksman now, they're pulling themselves back out of the ring, now making it a little bit more of a contention.
Camera taken out.
Do you see the knives out? Buns out. We do see a huge separation for Zero Marksman as well. All these are individual 1v1s. Everyone on Lazarus are all grouped up, and this could be a great time for them to get the opening pick and take that advantage. Speaking of advantage, though, Enjoy having the advantage with a scoped-in rifle against the body of town. They're going to fall when the Cypher's gone. A lot more lurking play could be promoted now from ZMM's side, but we haven't seen that just yet. Soar, though, on the other side, though, pushing their way in, does have to run it back with Hyun pushing their way towards the sea. Noticing how nobody's there, it's able to be trades back and forth. A double kill from Potato to clutch it up. Two left alive for Laz's side now. Who's going to take the tie? Could be a tie. Or we could see a crazy play coming up from Laz yet again. Laz, it's not looking good, though, for your own team, it seems. They don't have the spike anymore, and they have to find a way to get it back from such a small corridor.
Yeah, things are looking a little bit grim here for Lazarus. I mean, the spike is literally in the worst position for them, so they're going to try to go through the C connector in the back, but Enjoy has the high ground, going to be able to land that, so Kolb's by himself. I mean, 23 seconds? The spike is literally, look at this. He has to go through the tightest corridor to getting this spike. And Zero Marksman, they're just having like a camping trip. I mean, all of them are here hanging out. You know, hey, let's just hang out here. Let's wait.
Get some
The fire's here.
s'mores.
Yeah, get a s'more, you know, whatever.
Nice and warm.
I mean, this is a big save. So, I mean, Zero Marksmen have now put themselves into a tie game, 10-10, and a really good play. Just being very patient, not just going for those frags. But again, I'm going to talk about him. I'm going to talk about it one more time. Potato! the guy, the myth, the legend. Great food. I love potatoes, so I like this guy even more. But he is just, again, making these impacts, able to get the two frags without getting taken down. Absolutely huge. So, I mean, again, this is now causing Lazarus to be kind of stuck in the mud. They're gonna have to figure out the tea leaves because right now they're reading the wrong thing.
I mean, you mentioned that we should keep an eye on Unshaken for the majority of this broadcast, and I don't think you're wrong at all. But Potato, I think, is another one to keep an eye on too.
Wonder what kind of potato he likes.
Ooh, I love French fries.
Oh, French fries are pretty good.
Like you make them yourself, you air fry them. Sweet potatoes too.
Oh yeah.
But they're like
Ooh,
a
sweet
hybrid
potatoes.
potato. Oh, but let's see. Glowing potato in the sky. Curveball's not going to connect though. Have to back off here. Bit of a push again towards A. I'm curious to see what's going to happen now with Potato again. Potato Unshaken in the same side can be a recipe for disaster for Lazarus' side. Haven't seen that happen yet though. In fact, it's going to be an entire caravan escaping the side of A. And if they play into C, well, they have another surprise waiting for them.
A very slow round from Lazarus. Really just waiting it out now. Not trying to be too aggressive. Astra going to be placing some of the stars. Nothing too much of a harm here for Zero Marksmen. And now they have themselves a 3-2 split. So they have their Phoenix and Cypher going to be splitting towards C. Going to get taken down. Enjoy a high ground again. Flashes come in. Doesn't work out. Potato now going to TP himself out of that situation. So now this is a good bait. Look at this. It's only one player. Unshaken. He's by himself.
No.
He's going to have to come alive. He gets the spike down. This is already starting off good. Looking for a little bit more. Run it back, but he wins it somehow. I don't know how that works, Max. He's
Oh
gonna be
no,
able to
but
make
around
it.
the corner, it's gonna be close. Able to find one, make that into two. It's like a bowling pin. They all get knocked down into a strike.
Have the spike.
Spike is still left though. One, no, making that two left alive. They have to go for the emergency plan, but it might be too little too late. They have to be a setting. Complex is able to find it, and that's gonna be maybe a saving Hyote. They only have a frenzy. There's not much they can do in this situation. Find some economic damage. They go for the pre-fire shots, and they're able to connect. How did Potato? No.
Potato just smashing that last player, put himself at 20 frags. I wish we had the replay for that. I mean, that was absolutely a huge massacre. Unshaken by himself. He was stuck in that site. I mean, he had to use the run it back as well just to getting a second life. But unfortunately, like you said, Coles was able to just go for the wide swing, but still makes it so close and does so much damage. I mean, he actually made it close because he won the round, but I mean, he was able to just lock it by himself as his team completely bit on the C execute from only 2 players. So you can already see Zero Marksmen. They're trying to be really reactive to what is happening, and they seem to have those quick rotates, like unlike what we saw in the first half, Max.
And we talked about earlier how Lazarus was able to find so many rounds going into the end of the first, into the second half. That was, I can't do math, a lot of rounds going into it, but now 4 in a row for Zero Marksman in reply. They only need 1 more to hit match point in this best of 1. We talked about in the pre-show, Laz, there are no safety nets between these 2 teams in the top 32.
No, there really isn't. I mean, for anybody that's new to VSS, I mean, it is best of 1s all the way to the grand finals, which of course goes to BO3. So this is it. I mean, you make yourself here, and I mean, you're going to have to win or lose. So again, it's going neck and neck. It's a teeter-totter. I don't know. It's hard to say at this point. We're seeing a lot of good plays from both squads. It seems like when, we count Lazarus out, they seem to just, coming back, swinging full force. Zero Marksman, they pull a couple tricks out of the hat and make it very interesting. And I mean, the one thing we talked about Zero Marksman as well, and this has been an active squad, but I mean, even just recently, I mean, they came second place at the Gaming Stadium $2,000 tournament as well. And they only lost a 2-1 to Resonate. And again, they played some great teams on their way. So that this team can definitely has the experience. And I've talked about firepower, but hey, we're going to talk about it again. Firepower is good.
Very good. I love firepower. But speaking of firepower, yeah, you like fire?
I like fire.
What kind of fire do you like?
Yeah, I don't know. Is there like different types of fire?
I mean, there's like blue fire, red fire.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
The blue fire is really hot, like the hibachi kitchens.
That's true.
You spray the oil down. I haven't had hibachi since the great pandemic started.
You just make me hungry.
Yeah, I do that. Speaking of potatoes, though, we do have him holding down the back of C side. We do see a bit of a huge, gigantic play coming on by, but the Astral Divide again is going to be going on down. This is a lot better of a one than we saw earlier in the game. I do like this one to stall out the defense and stall out the defense entirely. Potato and company, though, having a paranoia in hands, able to find at least a spike going down for one, but they have to stall for a little bit when Potato gets a double kill. Now, you know, we were talking about how we were hungry. I guess Potato's hungry for some more as well before he goes down. It's gonna be Cliff now. Last one alive, hiding around behind green box. Nasty on the other side, trying to find some action. But no, hello, you forgot to check behind you. It's Unshaken instead.
Very close round. Unshaken, or sorry, I mean Lazarus. They try to go for the full tilt towards C. You know, not really doing a big split. Instead, they want to just put a 5-man squad into the site. Almost works out well for them. But now we see Zero Marksmen put themselves at match point. Money is spent. Lazarus, they're going to just have to scrape again that barrel, figure out what they can make work of. This is tough. I mean, do you give the Vandal to your duelist? Do you give it to somebody else? And I mean, we haven't seen anybody really like pop off on this squad. Everybody is pulling in the equal weight. But if anybody's going to pop off, it definitely has to be now.
Absolutely. And we have to see that pop-out factor from Laz. We saw some of that early on, but I feel like once they switched over to the attack, we haven't really seen any standout plays from them at all, even if they do win some rounds. Hyun and company, though, just holding on a little bit longer. Enjoy getting stalled out. Curious to see what happens next here. Having to back off a little bit more, just barely getting away with their own life. Spike still inside of garage. Looking for that moment. Oh, but Joy, he's playing such a diverse angle. He's watching everything at once. It's going to allow Soar to get on by just by a little bit longer. That being said, though, they have to make a difficult choice. Do they hide inside a very big kill box that is garage, or is Hyun and company going to be waiting for the execute? They're waiting for that flank. Hyun knows one's nearby. They have to push up, though, and it seems like the Phoenix is aware as well. Someone has to make the move, but they transverse their way over to B. They're able to find one, but the volley goes through, takes down Hyun's life. That's only the beginning of a seal of what very well could be the last round. Unshaken's able to find one. Cliff holding it down just a tiny bit more. These defenders, slow to the response, need to be able to bring it back in time. 2 inside B window. Could be Complex's time to shine, and him maybe be able to find them as well. Cliff and company able to find one, though. We go back to Complex really quick. He's able to find one, but no, what about the rest inside the base? Cliff and company trying to make it work. They're unable to find these shots going by. Sora with a triple kill is going to clean it up a little bit more, but the last one alive is coming on through. Unable to find anything. Shock darts in hand. Trying to stall it out, but the pre-fire shots could be the end of their life, and it is. Lazarus stays in a little bit longer.
Talking about popping off. Soar reaching for the skies. Now, 1 round to go for a tie game going to overtime, but Zero Marksmen, they're going to have to put everything they got. I mean, they have 1 ultimate. They got the Neural Theft available for them. Compared to Lazarus, they got Bladestorm. They got Hunter's Fury. The options are looking very good. Very probable here for Lazarus to really come back and make something happen here. And like we said, this is neck and neck. This is hard to say. Like, I'm glad like we didn't make a prediction here. I mean, I think I did, but boy, it's making me sweat a little bit, Max.
Oh, I'm always sweaty. I'm drenched over the excitement here, but Nasty is hiding inside a small corner by rocks. There's no plan to escape. They do have the recon bolt to see exactly what's going to happen. The only escape option was the firewall, and they're able to escape with their life almost completely intact. That being said, though, that Spike has to make a difficult choice yet again. Do they commit to A, where they've lost quite a few rounds, or do they commit to C, where, well, they've had some more luck? And I'm a little hard-pressed to say it might not be B.
The one thing to know too is, I mean, every time they've come A, it seems like, you know, Unshaken and his teammate are able to hold things down very well. So I'm curious if that's what they want to go for. Again, this is where they have that 4-player stack. They have their 1 lurk that's going to be spotted on the back of C. They're just getting that intel. And even actually the Spike now going to advance itself towards the back, the middle. You can see Enjoy playing a bit more of a passive angle, getting repositioned once more. But Town, he might be able to get the timing of this very well. Nope, Complex. Going to be a complex equation, going to be able to put that Neural Theft to work. Ultimate's now used, location completely revealed, and now Zero Marksmen, they have everything in sight here for their attackers.
Things should be looking pretty good now. Look at all this. I don't even know what's going on. The battlefield's all blurry. The fog of war coming by. Collateral kill comes by for Enjoy, finding both Soar and Glyph to go down. It's gonna be 2 left alive now for Laz. 2.5 kills now with the run of that going away. Copes and company seemingly lost about what to do. The Astral Divide again, dividing everything up, but it's going to go down all the same. Paranoid does come by. Hyun has to make a difficult choice yet again to see whether or not they push through Garage, but Potato steals it away from Enjoy. One left alive, make that 0. And Zero Marksman coming away, clutching it up on a best of one, top 32.
And that's a flawless round, even to top that off. I mean, Zero Marksman, they pull it up 13-11, but wow, what a neck-and-neck game for the first game on the stream here. Top 32, but congratulations, Zero Marksman, for pulling up a victory. Very tough victory. I mean, that must have been a pretty rattling game, especially with the way that things were going. I mean, when you're playing games like that, the stress is ultimately high. But I mean, like we said, Lazarus, a lot of big kudos for them. They pulled a lot of big things as well as as much as Zero's Markman did. I can't even talk anymore.
I can't either. My brain is just down to goop. It's going to seep out of my ears, but there's still plenty of more games for us to commentate. I'm going to be swapping out for a little bit, though. We have the amazing Vincent coming in, but you guys get to enjoy Laz for a few more games. And, of course, there's plenty of other action to see who's going to be the reigning champion of week number 53 for the Valorant Sunday Showdown. But with that being said, we are going to be going to a small break while we get things fine-tuned on our end. But don't go anywhere, because we'll be right back. Oh, whoops.
That's okay. We were both just like, ooh, never. I guess we forgot to talk about MVP, but
yeah.
that's okay,
That's
Max.
okay. It's my bad,
Max.
my bad.
Enjoy.
Oh, yeah, Enjoy.
Hey.
It was amazing. Did a great job. I like the collateral kill at the very end.
Yeah, me too. Enjoy definitely was able to get a lot of big picks. And again, like we were talking about having that op-out, I mean, definitely made some big impact with that as well. 22-17 with an average combat score 274, especially what you want from your duelist. So Enjoy was able to pull up some big impact. I mean, he doesn't have the top frags on the squad, but it doesn't matter. He's still pulling up a lot of big things for the team.
Absolutely. It's been a fantastic time to see them coming on through. And I'm curious to see if Enjoy can keep the streak on going and how far they can go this week.
You know, I'm going to enjoy it, Max. I mean, no pun intended, but I mean, Zero Marksman, like I said, they're coming in for the gold. I mean, they placed in another tournament just recently. They came second, so very close to reaching that first place. But now, I mean, the way that they're playing, that was maybe, you know, getting the shaken out a little bit, the nerves and everything like that. So I'm curious to see how it's going to go for them. But either way, I mean, I'm looking forward to it, Max. That's for sure.
I'm looking forward to it as well. Can't wait to see what Enjoy can bring out in the rest of Zero Marksman, of course. But we are now going to be going to a break.
Yeah.
As we get things swapped out on our end. Thank you so much, and we'll be back in a little bit.